What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about a game that I'm so excited it's hard for me to even stay seated. But yes, we're talking more about Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and we've got a bunch of new information to go over and why this game looks so cool. It looks so cool to the point to where I think that the people over at Monolith Soft are definitely watching the vids and watching what everyone else is saying and saying, how can we make this game even more cool than what it was before? All the people that are saying, oh my gosh, it's over sexualized and this and that, they're like, yeah, we don't care about you guys. Get yourself out of here. We don't care what you guys are saying. We make the games that we want to make. We do what we want to do, and Nintendo writes them checks. Of course, they're Monolith Soft, so I mean, it's the same company, but you guys know what I'm trying to say here. But anyway, before we get into the new information and we talk a little bit more about this, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell for all things Xenoblade, Nintendo, RPGs, and live streams as well. I live stream a lot too, so make sure you guys watch those live streams. Notification bell, get those ready. Now anyway, let's talk about Xenoblade Chronicles 3, because there's a bunch of new information on characters and more. So, over on the official Xenoblade Chronicles account, there was some more stuff that was translated by the Xenoblade Chronicles EN page, so shout outs to them. They've been doing some heavy work, heavy lifting, translating all this content from the official Monolith Soft account, Xenoblade account on Twitter. So let's go over one of the new features that makes this game really cool, and that is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Let's talk about it. So, throughout the main story, additional party members from outside the main 6 can join the battle. These individuals are known as heroes. The 7th slot can be filled by all sorts of characters. So let's talk about this first before we get into some of the other information. So this is really cool because this is a feature from Xenoblade Chronicles X. Now in Xenoblade Chronicles X, you can have an additional party member, or you can borrow party members from online, or kind of rent them out as well from New LA in order to go on your team, and you can use their unique specific skills for a certain mission or battle, or even on the online play as well. So it was pretty cool to have that. Now it's been adapted a little bit, and they actually haven't detailed anything else. Maybe there might be some connection to online to where you can download somebody else's heroes or something, but I don't think so, not right now. But that's something that maybe could come in the future, but I doubt it. But either way, it's a cool little somewhat feature, or somewhat spiritually success or whatever by Xenoblade Chronicles X. So that's really cool. I do like that feature, but it also shows another thing that people aren't really talking about, is the fact that this game already has 6 characters all battling independently, not tethered to each other outside of the Uroburo system, but individually all tethered to where you can switch between all at once while you're fighting in real time without a battle load up screen or anything. So you can fight all there, and from what we're seeing with the gameplay so far, there isn't any frame rate drops or dips or anything. And now they're adding in another person, so 7 people total. And if you have the 2 Nopons that we're going to talk about soon here, that's going to actually be 8 people on the screen in tandem fighting, sometimes with multiple enemies. I really want to see how this game holds up when there's 3 or 4 or 5 enemies fighting along with everybody, 8 people all fighting at the same time. I'm guessing they got things under control here, but it's going to be interesting to see. But based off the clip so far, everything is looking good. They're being honest about their game, and I'm really loving what I'm seeing. So this is a big feature. It's a nice feature, and I'm looking forward to seeing what other heroes we can swap in and out with the main cast of characters. All right, now let's move into some new character details for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And like I alluded to, there's some Nopons that we have to get to here. First up is Riku, and here's the translation from the official Xenoblade Chronicles account. Say hello to Riku. The VA is Sayaka Senbongi, and I probably butchered that name, from the Kieves Colony 9, like Noah and his friends. This thick-browed Nopon is in charge of item crafting and maintaining the Iron Giant. So this guy definitely has that Rex cup from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. You guys are seeing the screenshots of him. We got some brand new screens. Plus, we also have some brand new gameplay videos with some voice acting in Japanese that I will have playing, or we're going to talk about it in just a bit here. But I do want to go over this just a little bit. This Nopon here, he's part or half of the dynamic duo of the Nopons that you can use so far in that hero slot that they've shown off. So this is definitely a good thing to see a character like this and how he fights, and a little bit more of the personality, because you know the Nopons are always like somewhat of the comic relief in the game along with certain other characters. And whether you like Nopons or not, it's always cool just to have these little plump fellas in the game. And this time there's two of them, kind of like Xenoblade Chronicles Future Connected, where you have the two Nopons fighting together. I think that's pretty cool, and I think they probably lifted it from that game, and it worked really well on that one, so they're bringing it back here as one of the hero slots. Now, let's get to the other half of the dynamic Nopon duo here. All right, next up, say hi to Manana. The VA is Aya Suzaki. She is from Argus. Spot the chef's hat. That's right, she can cook. She cooks for Mio and her friends. She's so skilled, she was her colony's head chef at one point. So we've got a chef and a battler all in one. And once again, both of these two make up this dynamic duo that you can fight and you can cook. So they're probably gonna be pretty involved based off of what we've seen so far. Maybe not all the time, but they're definitely gonna play a role in this epic quest for finding who the true enemy is and what's going on this world here. So I'm thoroughly thrilled to see what happens. But we have one more thing to talk about when it comes to these two Nopons together. Now here's some new character art, and it also says, Riku and Manana join the party as a pair, fighters that make up for each other's glaring flaws. Truly the Nopon way. So definitely cool there. Good to see that new art as well. And once again, there are some new gameplay videos with Japanese voiceovers. There will be translations, I'm sure, at some point, but as of the time that I'm recording this video, there are no translations for it, so that's unfortunate. But you do get an early look at the voice acting and some of the locations, or a location for these two characters, or for the characters. So that's definitely a good thing. Now that we've got all of that information out of the way, let's talk a little bit more about this game. Now, if you haven't seen my previous video on the Xenoblade Chronicles Special Edition and talking about buying the game for the culture, I was kind of just joking around a little bit with that, but I just wanted to express my excitement for it. But now we're actually gonna talk a little bit more serious about it, you know. So link in the description if you haven't seen that video. I did talk about the Special Edition and what's going on there. That's some concern for people. I broke down what I know and what I feel is going to be coming soon here for that Special Edition. Now let's talk about the game. So Xenoblade Chronicles 3, obviously big game, getting moved up to July 29th, but I think that with Monolith Soft, like I said in my previous video, this is the type of developer that we all want to support. I mean, this is what we wanted to see from Nintendo and what we wanted to see brought to the table from the Switch from the very beginning. And I think that Nintendo's done a great job, along with their partners, on delivering really cool core games and delivering really fun experiences. But I would say, while they do have some great RPGs on the system, Xenoblade Definitive Edition, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, they've got Ni no Kuni, they've got Dragon Quest, they've got Final Fantasy, they've got a number of games. There aren't many games like Xenoblade Chronicles 3. We have very few games that are built specifically for the Nintendo Switch, pretty much using every single resource that it has. I mean, I can count the RPGs in general. I think on one hand, I mean, I count Astral Chain as an action RPG. I mean, you could say maybe Shin Megami Tensei 5, that's probably in there as well. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, that's in there as well, and some of the stuff that Nintendo has done. But there aren't many of these huge, you can call them quote-unquote AAA type of RPGs built for the Nintendo Switch system itself to run and look at a perfection and optimized for the system. Even SMT5 definitely has some issues here and there with what they're using with Unreal Engine 4, with optimization and stuff like that. And Dragon Quest, I would say Dragon Quest 11 is definitely a bit better with optimization and how it runs, but you can still kind of tell there's some things here and there, although it's a really well done effort. I think that games like Astral Chain, for example, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 kind of fall into a little bit of a different bracket to where they run at a certain really good level and optimize the engine that they're using for the system itself. So I think that it just makes the quality of the game a little bit better, or kind of stand above what they've done before on the system. So to me, I kind of put it in that same bracket of a Astral Chain, and there's not a lot of games in there. I mean, there's definitely some RPGs, but there's not a lot. So when I see a game like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I'm like, yo, we've got to buy this for the culture. We've got to buy this for what they're doing. I think Monolith Soft is Nintendo's most talented team out there. I think that talented, obviously they're not the biggest, but talent-wise, they can do anything that any of the other developers at Nintendo can do, especially when you're talking about big game development. They can help out with Splatoon, they can help out with The Legend of Zelda, they can help out with just a variety of games. Animal Crossing, they can do a lot of stuff. So when you get the Monolith Soft Takahashi Team 1 making a game specifically built for the Nintendo Switch, after what they did with Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 with a fraction of their power, this is the result that we're getting. We're getting a highly crafted, finely tuned game that I think is going to be probably the best Xenoblade experience ever at this point. I think I've seen enough based off of the clips, based off of the story premise, based off of the new features, based off of the Ouroboros, based off of everything they've shown so far. This seems like it's going to be an emotional and also great playing journey that's going to start off a lot better when it comes from a technical perspective than any other Xenoblade game out there in terms of how it looks, how it runs, how it plays, the features. Everything seems like this is going to be set, ready to go at an earlier time. So to me, I'm very, very excited about that, and I'm very excited to share what I'm going to be doing for the Xenoblade Chronicles playthroughs and just more like the content on the channel. So this is something that I wanted to share probably a little bit closer to launch, because plans can still change. But right now, I'm actually planning on having my Twitch channel where I'm going to be streaming the game. And then, of course, right here on my YouTube channel, I'll be making different impressions videos, non-spoiler impressions videos as I go along. Like, let's say 10 hours in, 30 hours in, 40 hours in, 50 hours in, 60 hours in. Whenever I get the time to get those done, those impressions, where I can put some stuff in there with no spoilers once again, and then leading up to my final review, 100+ hours or whatever the final count of time is. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be finely tuned for the people who want to know impressions on the game and kind of how they feel if they're undecided, compared to people who want to just watch me play the game on Twitch, or maybe I'll have some streams on YouTube. But I'm definitely looking at doing both when it comes to streaming the game some, and also providing impressions videos as well. So kind of a scoop for you guys here that watch this video. But once again, those plans can change, but that's generally the general thing or premise that I want to have for my content with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So look forward to that. And once again, subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff. But what are your thoughts on Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and what they've shown so far? What are you most excited about with the game? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and we will see you for the next video. Peace.